Hello, I'm Eric Snodgrass, and thank you for watching today's Ag Forecast, brought to you by Nutrien Ag Solutions, your premier platform for real-time global insights. Well, there has been no shortage of high-impact weather. Looking at a map here showing the last 3 days of total accumulated snowfall ending on Sunday evening. And across the start of the Midwest, we certainly saw this quick-hitting system that moved through parts of the eastern Corn Belt here, dropping a couple of inches of snow. And certainly before that and adding to that, we saw snow really piling up in parts of Minnesota, Iowa, and Wisconsin. In fact, I heard of some pretty tragic and nasty car accidents in here and around the Eau Claire area. Lake effect snow is certainly going, and we even saw some lighter snow leading into this in the northern plains. But look out west. National Weather Service out of Seattle actually has already reported that they have had their 8th snowiest February on record, and it's only February 11th. So it's impressive to see that. And the snowfall totals here in the Sierra Nevadas have been huge. But let me take you to Las Vegas. I want to thank Caleb Steele for widely sharing this video with us. Just a beautiful video here of snow in Vegas. That's a palm tree, just getting hit with this brief snow shower. Now, you get flurries in Vegas. We get some light snow, but this was impressive to see here in Las Vegas. So this is the pattern we're in, and it is not going away anytime soon. Now, my biggest concerns moving forward, we got two maps here. This is the last 14 days of precipitation in total. This is the percent of normal. Now, certainly it's been much, much wetter than average across the northern tier of states. But remember, this is a drier time of year. So when you start to see these numbers getting up above 350 to 500%, it's just persistent. We have had a lot of precipitation there, mostly snow. We're going to talk about the west in a few minutes, but you can see we're going to add a lot more snow here and a lot more rain there to what we've already got. Now look at this. Over the last 14 days, we have seen this part of the Ohio River Valley getting into the mid-Mississippi River Valley that has seen pretty widespread 2 to 5 inches of rain, and it is adding up, and we're about to put a whole lot more down on top of this same area with snow back in this area. So check it out. Here's your next week. What I want you to see here, again, we'll talk about the west in a few minutes, is right over here, we may potentially put down anywhere between 2 and 4 inches more rain, maybe some locally heavier amounts. And because our deeper trough is sitting just like this, we're going to continue to see low pressure systems forming here from Colorado to the panhandles of Oklahoma and Texas, and their track is just going to follow that ridge just off in this direction. So it's going to be tricky to kind of see where our rain snow line will be with these systems, but look at this, these Great Lakes states, we're going to be adding quite a bit more snowfall to you over the next week. Lighter snowfall amounts from Montana through the Dakotas. And then if you come out west, we are just going to be splitting flow. Some from the northwest like this, some from the southwest like that. And these systems are just going to pile up the snow out west. And we couldn't be happier about it given the snowfall situation we've had so far this year. So this is where we're going with this forecast. Now, this is where all of our storm systems are currently lined up. And the flow pattern out in the Pacific Ocean is currently split. So you will see some storms running over the top like this, and then a big Pineapple Express event setting up just like that. And then look at that cutoff low there going right toward Hawaii. That one is impressive. Well, here's what that split flow looks like, okay? You can see it. And this is the Pineapple Express feeding the subtropical jet stream. That is dominating our flow. Let's talk about what it's going to do. Starting us off on Monday, widespread winter weather advisories in through this area, dense fog advisories, flood watches in through here, and as these systems spread to the northeast, you can see the winter weather advisories there. Out west, we still have them packed up here with winter storm watches and warnings, and we're just not done. Like I talked about, we're going to keep seeing this map look like this, at least for the next 15 days. High resolution NAM model first. What are we going to see? We're going to see another system emerge, which is going to keep putting just rain shower after rain shower, including the chance for some thunderstorms across this area. There will be a region to the north of that where we're going to flip over to sleet, freezing rain, and then all snow on the backside. Then watch at the very end for the next big system to come in out west. So here we go. This is our setup for the next 3 days. Well, there it is. As you get through the day on Monday, widespread rain across parts of Arkansas, Missouri, southern Illinois, getting into Tennessee, Kentucky. About 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, we watch for the northern edge of that to possibly have a turnover to some sleet and freezing rain, such that by Monday evening, as this system really develops. Now remember, it's right now, the low pressure center's there in Oklahoma. This is all out ahead of it. We've got rain through 3/4 of the way through the northern part of Illinois, then snow back in Iowa, snow in northern Illinois with a mix in between. Looks like that's going to smack into Chicago O'Hare Airport, causing some major travel delays. This is Monday night. Look at the snow piling up in parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, Minnesota. Look at the big swath of potentially ice and sleet moving through parts of southern Michigan. All the while, heavy rain has just been falling continuously through Kentucky and Tennessee and points to the south. So the low finally pushes on through, and you can just see the lighter snow hanging on the backside. And on that backside, it is going to get windy Tuesday afternoon, evening, and overnight hours. And look out west now. There's the next big system slamming into the coast. That's that Pineapple Express flow right there, just hitting California. So if we take a look at total accumulated snowfall, pushing us through Wednesday at 7 a.m., biggest snowfall amounts in the Midwest are going to be in parts of Iowa, Wisconsin, where we could pick up in through here, potentially well over 6 inches in some localized spots, especially right in through here where we just saw a lot. That certainly pushes through the Great Lakes states and then off to the northeast. Remember, a lot of this, what you're seeing in here, may also be mixed in with some sleet and some freezing rain. But look out west, major snowfall amounts here in the Cascades and the coastal ranges there as we work our way towards Seattle, seeing quite a bit of snow as well. But here it is. This is what's got me very concerned. When you look at this, we are talking about picking up in some locations right down here an additional 3 to maybe 5 inches of rainfall. And that is going to be basically being put down on some very already flooded conditions. Now, before I show you those totals again, let's just take a look at what the European model says. We got 3 systems lined up. Monday morning, widespread rain in through this area. Okay, we just saw that a few moments ago. Watch as we progress through the day on Monday, getting into Tuesday. There it is. So by Tuesday evening, that low has pushed its way over to Michigan. We got the snow on the backside, high pressure and cold air moving behind it for the middle part of the country. Now, meanwhile, look at the next system that hits the west coast, dumping lots of snow in the Sierra Nevadas all the way up to Washington and Oregon. And then as that pushes through in that deeper trough, we get a lot of snow in Montana. And then the system forms here. Now, this is valid on Thursday night. Look at it. It's going to take shape there in Oklahoma, spreading through the eastern Corn Belt. That's system number 2. So again, the first system's going through Monday, Tuesday. Second system is going to be Thursday, Friday. And then watch the west coast again. Ready? Comes the next system, riding that same flow pattern. So we got basically 3 systems in the next 10 days that we're going to have to be in the lookout for. And you can clearly see we're expecting quite a bit out of each one of them. Now, again, my concern is right in through here. This is the European model telling you the probability of getting 5 inches of rain in the next 10 days. And if you just look in that same area, I've only made a map here showing you all the river gauges that are near flood stage or in flood stage, some stage of flooding. You can see that this is an area that is already worried about potentially going well past flood stage with many of the rivers that feed right into the Mississippi, the Ohio, and the Missouri River down there. So we've got to be careful on that area. Major flooding is in the near term. And look at the snow. Probability through the next 10 days of getting at least 6 inches. Well, in the Midwest, we're really focused here and then in the Northeast. But look out west. Big time snows out there. And the good news is, through February 9th, we have our latest update here from the Basin Average Snow Water. Well, look at this. Our numbers are looking really good out west. Couldn't be happier about it. And this doesn't include the weekend snows, which piled in a whole bunch more right in through here. So this is looking good out west. Now, I'm going to play the pattern for you fast. And the reason why, we're not seeing much change. You're just going to keep seeing that trough establish out west. It keeps sending these little shortwaves through the middle part of the country to the northeast. Each one of those is a new, big low pressure system. But I got you all the way here to the 25th of February, and that trough is still well established, and so is this ridge over the southeast. This right here, we still got to keep an eye on that deeper trough south of Greenland, south of Iceland, just because at times it may connect up with the northeast, potentially getting us a better situation there for a big nor'easter. But at this point, I really can't push too far away from looking at the European ensembles as really picking up on the flow pattern. What is it going to do to temperatures? Well, watch this. As you just watch this, notice where the cold air keeps reloading. Watch the warm air out ahead of every system snaking up here. But you're just going to see a constant pattern of cold coming out of Montana. There it is. Look at that. See, each time you get a big warm surge, but then that cold is just established and it keeps pushing through. And all the way out to the 25th, we are just locked into this colder pattern. If there's one place that sneaks away over the next, I don't know, let's call it 15 days with a warm bias, it's definitely the southeast where that ridge is going to reside. Now, speaking of temperatures, we will see over the next week much cooler than average temperatures in Argentina. But remember, this region in here is typically pushing deep into the 90s. So we're not talking about, any kind of cold weather that we need to be afraid of here, but certainly some cool weather comparatively. What is important is this. This area right here, this is phase 7 and 8 of the Madden-Julian oscillation. And when you see a lot of thunderstorms, which we see under that circle I just drew forming there, we're talking about really getting over into a phase that's conducive to a lot of rain in South America. Meanwhile, northern Australia here is going to stay relatively warm and very dry. But look down here in southern Australia, we have a cold front that's going to be sweeping through. You can see it right over there, really knocking temperatures back over this week. But let's come back here to South America. You can see that we are going from phases 6 and 7 quickly into phase 8, phase 1 and 2, and those are the wetter phases. So as we are rapidly planting this safrinha crop, which acreage is expected to be big, they're bringing in rain right at this time. And so we broke away from that really, really dry pattern, just like we've been talking about for the last 10 or 15 days, now back into that wetter pattern, at least through the end of February, possibly even longer than that. Meanwhile, a lot of severe weather down in Argentina, but overall the next 15 days is a little bit drier of an average pattern. To finish this up, that highly volatile pattern over the U.S. is also shoving a huge ridge into parts of Europe throughout this week, bringing in much warmer than average conditions. But with that, we are going to wrap this video up. I want to thank you for your attention. Hope you look forward to my next video that'll be coming out on Thursday morning. Thank you.